we told Reddit.
I need to turn off all my other things because I think that's what's just horribly slowing it down.
Slowing it down, isn't it? YouTube seems slowing it down for me.
Have any of you guys paying attention to the video aspect of Hangouts?
Can someone else check whether we're live or not? Because I've, you know.
That's just my music in the background. Woo!
Oh, I can. Yeah, I can hear. I can hear the feed, the music. I'll jump on, but I'm still eating. Yeah,
I'm eating as well.
Can you wear headphones or something? Because
Got
that
some nice
music's
fish pie.
messing me up. I'm trying to
Right,
balance.
has there been any questions then in the Reddit yet or not?
What?
Has there been any questions in the Reddit?
Cut the music.
Ah, sorry.
I can't hear you over your own music.
Yeah, I was going to say, Adam was going to add questions Reddit.
Well, see if Reddit has any questions. I think there is a way to get chat in there. Yeah, here.
On Hangouts
yeah.
there is. You can just
Yeah,
go.
Can someone post
On the left-hand side, right?
You can only have a limited number of people inside the chat, though.
Ah, okay.
I think, maybe.
So I guess we're probably
No, because we
better
can
off
have them in the. We
Reddit
can have
chat.
them in the stream chat.
Yeah, in the YouTube chat, they can put comments in the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Oh, you can have as many people as you want on the YouTube chat.
Yeah, because that's just regular YouTube.
So if you just open YouTube and to the actual stream, then there is...
If you link, who's linking it on the site then?
If you do that, won't
Oh,
we-
for God's sake!
Probably do it.
Hang on.
No, I don't want to unpublish. I just want to go on it and then. I want to be in the chat, but not. Comments are disabled. No, they're not. What? I don't want to
Okay, I'm
disable
back.
them. I want them enabled.
What?
Wait. I'm trying to figure out how I can enable comments. Give me a second.
You're not very good at this, Charlie.
Actual comments, the chat's to the right. People can use the chat.
There's only one person watching.
Yeah, it's me.
Ha! Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Stream options.
So, Charlie, I don't think you have to turn comments on. I think you can just have it.
Is the chat just separate from the comments?
I think so, yeah.
Because I did. Okay, the stream health is orange, so that's mediocre.
That's fine. That's good enough.
Did one of you post a link on the sub?
I don't think there is one. I'm just looking. I can't find it.
Ed, I thought you were about to do it just then.
No, I was getting so I wanted somebody else to.
Oh.
Okay, I can do it. I'll post it right now.
Because I mean, I know we've got at least one fan.
Me.
No, the staffer.
Oh yeah, the chat's different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could multiple people can be on the Line Break podcast thing, so I can say this.
104 comments on that one that I put up last night.
Which one? What?
On my final analysis.
Oh right.
I just saw
Yeah,
that.
that did quite well. You and Barbs and Adam are racking up. It's the rest of us are just silent partners at the moment.
There's a brilliant exchange here between two of them, where one's gone on and said, yeah, but Hawcock's way better than McCall at the breakdown now, and that's going to be the difference. And then somebody's replied to him saying, fair enough, but did you even bother reading the article? When it comes to pot turnovers, Hawcock's superior, but the Wallabies haven't done as well as a team.
Yeah.
People actually read it. Oh, well.
People read it and take it as gospel. That's what I found. That's what I found with quite a few things. So when someone mentioned, who's eating, by the way, is that Ed?
Me.
It's just a classic Ed thing to do.
I'll put it on mute for a bit then.
No, it's fine.
Always
It's,
complaining.
it's
I
not
got some
complain. It was just a classic. Like I just knew it had to be you eating.
My made fish pie. It's quite nice.
No, the funny thing is, I looked at quite because I had a slow day today, so I was looking at quite a lot of the rugby media going into this final, and
Yeah.
there's so many people who are just shitting out narrative faster than they can consume it, and you hear things like
That's because it's good public. It's not even that it's good publicity. It's that because it's on everybody's
Well,
mind.
that's my heart.
It's just going to draw in so many views.
Yeah.
It's just shit posting on a very broad scale.
who's posted? Was that seriously? You're gonna have to cut the scraping of the plate. It's just.
No, that was the last one. I've finished now.
Okay, it's making me. I don't know. It was making me feel.
I
weird.
might go back for seconds later on, but it should be alright for the time being.
I've posted the match for it.
In the match grid.
But yeah, post a link on the sub as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just. Oh, I enjoyed that.
One of the comments at the moment on the match thread. I'm not enjoying this British soap I have to watch before the game.
Corey.
Probably.
Is Corey on? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I looked at that, and Ken Barlow's on the screen. I thought he was in prison.
No,
Like,
Kerr
yeah,
Barlow. He's the backup 9 for New Zealand.
He had a sex abuse trial, didn't he? And he was.
Oh yeah, there was a problem with him. You're right. He did have a thing, but I don't know if he. I think it was sexual assault. I don't know if it was like paedophilia.
Yeah.
Charming.
What's the chuckle in the background that I'm hearing?
That's Mum laughing at some crap on the One Show.
Oh.
In the post soon.
Have you told her that the One Show is Blue Peter for adults?
I think that was a discussion a while ago.
Yeah.
It's also got all Blue Peter presenters now as well.
I said that to one of my co-workers and his face just fell because he's like 50 something and he loves the One Show.
I don't think I've ever watched an episode of it in my life.
In fairness, Blue Peter was awesome.
There was only one good bit, and it was when Matt Baker asked David Cameron how he sleeps at night. That was the best bit of the One Show.
Brilliant.
It's like, how do you sleep at night? Anyway.
Sweet, there we go. That's finished. That means we should have just a couple of minutes before John Inverdale starts spouting some mad bullshit on...
Oh yeah, I should probably switch on my TV, shouldn't I?
Well, you don't have to. I mean, it can make for an interesting commentary, but, you know, you don't have to.
Well, to be fair, when South Africa got the ball, you could have just said, and Schultzberger carries it to the line.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
live.
okay.
Wait, what do I want to... Do I want to make any changes? Nah, CB.
Right, there you go. Let's let's talk about this game.
Yeah, so does anybody actually want to see Brian Havana break the record today or not?
I'd quite like to.
Wait, how many...
there is-
Does he have to score 1 or 2?
One.
He scores
he's
one to
level.
break. He's already equalled.
Oh, okay.
And I'm fine with him breaking the record because he even mentioned when they interviewed him, I think perhaps not last week but 2 weeks ago, he did himself make the point of saying that Lomu did it in 2 World Cups, whereas Habana's taken 3. And I know there's the argument over, you know, professionalism and who their opposition has been.
Well, the problem that I've got with it is that it's a third place playoff game.
I don't mind the fact that it's
I
third
like
place
this, I
playoff
like this game.
because they've still earned the right to be in the third place playoff.
Yeah.
But also,
Well, sure, just by definition, it means that they're going to be playing for his record. Now, South Africa
Well,
are going to be
really.
trying to get him into that. I think they will.
no, they will a bit because if LaRue breaks through and he's got Habana sitting next to him, he's going to give him the ball, isn't he?
Well, he might
That's
not. It
it.
depends if it's at the very end of the game. He might, if it's a runaway. But well, maybe.
I think because that's almost more important than the game itself.
But I mean, I don't really. I've seen a lot of comments, people having problems with the third place playoff, and I don't quite understand the rationale because I mean it's been going since. I think this is the 3rd World Cup they've had it.
I was going to say, is this a relative
No.
thing?
This was.
They had it in 2003 as well, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think
Oh,
Justin
I like
Marshall
that.
was saying that he's played in a fair few. So
I'm really
the problem that I've got with it is that it just seems like it's asking for injuries. You know, and it's already a pretty dangerous sport. And
Yeah, I mean, you said that in your write-up, and I do agree to a point, but I still think that every time you step on a rugby pitch, you're opening yourself up to an injury, and that's just the game you play, so you can't...
yeah, that's true as well.
I think you just can't think about it, you've just got to go in and do it.
Maybe they should do something different with this game, like use it to try out, you know, some of the new rules that are being trialed in other.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Well, it
I've got to say, I dislike most of the new rules that keep getting brought in.
Like what?
Especially when it comes to, well, I mean, the big one recently in the Aussie competition, and I think one of the
Oh, the
one of the
points
South African
ones?
conferences is the point differences.
Yeah, I
And
don't like
just
that.
don't like.
What is that, rumble? That was a
What?
rumble.
Which is quite difficult.
Oh, they've changed the penalties to 2 points.
The thing is, all that achieves for me is people say it's going to encourage a lot of more attacking rugby. It's really not. What it's going to do is
Well, encourage
people
people
to
to
goal.
get
It's just
penalty.
they're going to kick the touch.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Who's aesthetic?
Me.
Oh, that's Sin. Okay.
Yeah. I've got about 5 million different email accounts.
Okay, he's a hacker, guys. We've been infiltrated.
I quite
What
like
do you
the
think about
dynamic.
Write these pieces just like
The top 14 rule is you have to score 3 tries to get a bonus point. You have to score 3 more. So
Right,
if you
okay.
score 5 tries and the opponent scores 3, then you don't get a try bonus point.
I don't like that.
14's a rubbish league, though, isn't it? Really.
It's got the most money.
It's still a
That's
rubbish.
got now to do with it.
I quite enjoy watching the top 14. I watch the highlights
It's a
and
bit
stuff.
more open this week. Like,
There's a difference to watching the top 14 and there's watching the top 14 highlights.
I'm trying to see who's making the funny background noise, but I
I
can't
think
really.
it's Adam.
It's someone else.
Is it me? Alright, I'll just mute myself for a second, see if it's... I've got nothing on in the background.
I can't hear a funny background noise, to be fair.
Well, it's probably you then.
Yeah, it probably is me. But all I've got is the TV on in the background.
Have you got a decent mic?
I've got the TV on in the
I've been
background. That's
using the
probably...
same thing I've always been using.
I'm using my
Right, I'll just...
on my hands-free.
But I can hear that noise as well, so surely it's...
Yeah, so it can't be you if you can hear it.
It's just stopped now.
Yeah, I muted him. All right, there we go. It is. Oh shit! I need to
Silent.
unmute. I need to unmute. Is that on mute? That's unmuted.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's
And now it's come back. Yeah, Sin. I think it's
Yeah,
you.
did you say you have the telly on in the background? Because that's probably...
Set my television volume up.
Oh my god. Okay.
Is that better?
Who's listening in now? 5 people. What chaos?
woo! Shout out to them.
Yes. Has anybody got any questions? Then that'll be pretty good if they have.
Oh yeah, if you want to put in the chat something you want us to talk about, whether you want us to talk about tomorrow or the actual game.
It's also worth pointing out, guys, that there are 5 of us, and I assume we're all in the YouTube channel.
I'm not.
I'm not. I'm just on Hangouts.
Oh, so there's like 3. So there's two of us logged into watching the stream, and then there's like one viewer
We've made it,
maybe.
guys. We've made it.
We've made it big. We've made
Hollywood,
it real
baby.
big. We're gonna have to get that background noise sorted because it's messing me up, and I'm not even just trying to listen
Is it
casually.
really bad?
Yeah, it's very noticeable.
I don't know what it is, it's just...
It's the telly.
No, my volume's off now.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder what it is. It could just be like a fan or something, you know, like a computer fan.
Now again, I muted him just to see. I'm just double checking. It's not like
It is him.
this is
It's
what I
noticeable,
used to
it's-
do with I think it was
Me?
Ed. Yeah, I used to do it with
Probably.
Ed when he had a really bad mic. I can't unmute
Yeah.
him now for some reason. Maybe you need to unmute yourself.
Garrett1240 has a question, you guys. How long until Heineken Meyer is fired?
I think it's a good
about
question,
2.5
but he's not
hours.
going to be. And Sin wants to answer, but I can't unmute him, and this is one of the most frustrating things.
How long?
Okay, he's back,
What
he's
I'm
back.
gonna do is I'm gonna sign out of this and sign back on my phone because then I'll turn my laptop off. Hopefully it'll work better.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does sort of sound like a.
I think it's my laptop fan and somebody's dropped it or something.
We got a Pumas fan.
Go Pumas. How long
How
until
long is-
Heineken Meyer is fired? So I just think, I don't
After
know.
this
They've
World
bought
Cup.
him.
Minutes,
Didn't they
How
buy
long's he
him?
been-
They gave
How
him
long's
a
he
big
been coach?
contract, didn't they? They've
When
given
did
him a
he-
contract that was pretty good.
Do you
Sorry?
think they've gone backwards, though? Since the last World Cup? Since he's
Mm.
been...
No, they've gone backwards since 2 years ago though.
Yeah, they've lost ground on. I mean, 2013 was their peak. They were competing, really competing with New Zealand, and they've lost. They've just lost that little edge that they used to have.
Yeah, I mean, what they've no
Well,
win
he's
in
got
the
a-
Rugby Championship. How long's
He's got a
Heineken
better win
Meyer?
record than De Villiers had.
Oh, really? How long's he been in charge? Just out of interest, does anyone know?
Guys, can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There's no background
now?
noise either. Yeah, that's good.
Brilliant.
Okay, yeah, so I've got it on my phone now, so I'm on my different account, so I'm going to log the other one out, right?
Okay.
Cool, and you can't hear a background noise, yeah?
No, I don't
No.
ban off your laptop, probably.
Yeah, I've got the laptop on still, but it's because my earphones were connected through my laptop, so I don't know what was going on there.
Oh well, we're good now. But yeah, I mean, do we think? I assume Heineken Meyer will be gone after this World Cup.
Yeah,
It's a bit
I imagine he
harsh.
probably
I don't
will
know
be.
if he's-
I'm not 100% sure.
I think Lancaster's more likely to be gone than he is.
Hmm?
well, I think
Yeah,
Lancaster's almost
for
dead
sure.
set to leave.
Yeah.
I think
Regardless
if
of whether
goes
he should or shouldn't.
I think
Who
then
do you guys
Lancaster will
think
go-
should win the Team of the Year award?
Japan.
Ban.
It
gotta
does
be
have
the
to
winner
be
of this.
Japan.
No,
Well,
way.
if
doesn't it?
Australia win the World Cup tomorrow, then you can't really argue with them.
Yeah,
winning,
Right,
right?
you
Who wins
can,
it
but
tomorrow, I
it's
think.
because it's the. I was reading earlier on.
I
It's
don't
the
think
way
you can really
the way the award
get
the
past the
way
World
it's-
Cup winner for Team of the Year.
the way it's worded, it kind of because of what Japan have done for rugby on a very global scale. Because
Hello?
see,
Anyone
they're
talking?
showing it now. It's that they did so much, I think, just to open up the sports audience.
But I
And
think-
Yeah,
they
that's true.
can't-
The other thing
they
is that
can't
if you
knock
give it to the Wallabies, they get rewarded
They get what?
He's
in discipline for about 3 years.
They get rewarded for, and then you went blank.
I didn't even hear the end of the word rewarded.
Oh, did you not?
Disciplined and for about 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I think
would imagine it'll go to Japan just because the narrative fits, and like you said, like Australia does well. Yeah, sure, it's not a massive surprise, but for Japan to sort of light up the World Cup like they did,
Yeah.
who are the nominees? Who are the nominees?
I can't remember. Oh, no,
Because is Argentina
I'm
not
fairly
in there?
sure
Because
it's-
I think
no,
they're the most
Argentina are.
improved. I
South
think they're the
Africa
most
aren't.
improved by a mile.
This isn't the
think
most
it's
improved.
New
I
Zealand,
know what
Australia,
Team of
Argentina,
the year.
Japan.
I know what you're saying, but the team of the year that you still need to take into account where they've come from, and I think Argentina have come from nothing and have completely blown away all expectations. Really, people still see them as a second-tier team, and they're not.
I mean, they come from nothing. Though,
Even about
is
a year and a
that's-
half ago, 2 years ago, they were still getting beaten by 60 points by South Africa.
Yeah.
So it is a really quick rise.
They could still get beaten by 60 points.
I think-
right now.
Yeah,
But
but
the reason not to give it to Japan this year is that they came in the Pacific Nations Cup. They came, I think, in possibly third, but I think fourth. They got hammered, and I think I can't remember. I mean, watching it, they did have some very, very close games with Fiji, Canada, and the USA.
Yeah.
But I think, in general, it seemed like they were playing the entire thing. I think they were testing for the
They
World
were,
Cup
because
rather than
I heard
actually.
they were rotating around and resting a lot of
Yeah.
their players. So.
and also I imagine with Japan, because they played quite a.
God, what is Brian Habat? Is that the Springboks jersey?
No, that's his training top.
I was going to say, what was that?
Oh, are they out?
It looks
right.
very
I'm
bluish,
gonna
doesn't it?
switch on
Yeah.
my TV then.
The Blue Box.
The Blue Bucks.
Oh, Drew Mitchell. Oh, if Drew Mitchell gets a brace tomorrow, somehow, he'd do as
Breaks
well
the
as
record in the final, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty impressive.
But what I'm,
He's
at
got
that.
a job on to do that.
for the Pacific nations, what Japan, because they play quite a, they run a lot of set plays. I would have imagined, even more so than other teams, perhaps Japan were holding back stuff during the
Yeah.
lead-up because they have a lot of set plays.
Yeah, they have, you're right. Oh, try of the tournament. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Try the
I'm
tournament,
sure I've seen some of these.
surely.
I will say one thing I can't believe is for the nominations for the Try of the Year, there have been
Right.
some really spectacular tries, and I think at least I know it's kind of probably
It's just
wrong.
an overlap,
but
though, isn't it? It's not looking
Well, they're
normal.
international only, aren't they, the tries for... I can't believe
But I
Jesse
mean-
Creel didn't make it in there.
I'm amazed that.
Oh, that
what's
Japanese
it,
try
Sevilla.
there.
Julian
Just showing
Sevilla
all the
gets a try in
nominations
the.
on
Oh no! Don't show this one. That's
Nominations.
just rubbing it
The
in.
Gareth
isn't it?
Davies try.
This
I
was a
didn't-
brilliant kick here.
I think
It
no,
was.
I agree. It was a brilliant kick, but I actually
Bastard.
don't. I mean, maybe I'm just biased because it was against England, but I thought there were better
Yeah.
tries than that. But it was a really
were
really
loads.
good kick.
I think the kick is the one special thing about that try. Everything else is a bit standard.
This was
Oh,
a
yeah, this
really
was a
good
good
run.
one.
Oh yeah, this guy really lit it
Canada
up,
scored a
didn't
couple of fantastic tries.
He's been awesome for Glasgow.
Um,
He scored a couple of tries.
Well, they've basically got 2 sevens teams plus
Oh,
a
what's
random
that?
other guy in there, haven't they?
There's a good cheer in the background.
That's
He's just
bad in the
absolutely done him
kitchen.
for gas on the outside there.
Yeah. I tell you what
That's
though,
halfway
it's
back in.
for the Try of the Year awards. Sevilla's, I think possibly his first try against
watched
France,
this game.
got nominated as well as the one where he bumps
Oh, that's
everyone
the
off.
missed tackle. It's not really.
Is
Yeah,
this
no,
again?
this was quite good. I
No,
like this.
the handling coming up is fantastic.
Basketball pass.
Oh,
Yeah, that's lovely.
that's pretty good. that.
Great finish. Gone
But
on
it's
his finish.
there's one where Sevilla takes it. Maybe it was just the pass from Aaron Smith that did it, but
and he goes past 3 French defenders. That one.
No, not the one where he boshes through them. There's just one where it's a really nice outside line, and
Oh, okay.
but there's nothing too spectacular.
See,
a
that's
terrible try. I hate
no,
it.
no.
That-
See,
that was
I
a
don't.
great
I
try
think
that
this was a
even
better.
Foley
I
couldn't
think this is
find.
a
I know.
better try
But it
than
was
the Welsh
against
one.
us. That's
I
a
think-
fantastic link play in fair.
I think
Surprised
this is a
that-
better
The only
try
reason
than
that
the Welsh
Foley
one.
can do that is because Beale's alongside him.
Yeah, it's true. No,
should probably
sorry,
do
I'm
that.
just going to respond to what Garrett said in the chat, and he just said that Pocock's basically the runaway winner of the Player of the Year.
No,
he
I
should
don't
be.
agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Do you not?
No,
I think
okay, so all through the Super Rugby season, Pocock was
Yeah.
okay, but he got handily outplayed a few times. Ardi Surveyor had him once. There were a couple of other instances.
I think what does it for me with Pocock is the fact that
he came in and
he's-
played.
How is this try of the tournament? Jesus.
It was a
awful.
last-minute gasp try. It's the same reason the Japanese one was in there.
I brought that
but,
down, and there were about
these-
5 scrum infringements just before that moment.
Yeah.
But
But
okay, with Pocock's just come back from about what?
2
I think
years,
maybe this
definitely.
one. Yeah, 2
2
years.
years,
where
yeah.
he's
this one
been
was cool.
completely, not quite,
It'll go
bedridden,
high,
but he's
yeah.
been so passed down from the
And,
team
and
because
he
of
has
injury.
had a
to
special year, but
come
he's
back
only,
in the
really,
way that he has.
he's only really turned it on this tournament in about 3 or 4 games, and then
I think he's
2
proven
games in the rugby
himself at the
championship.
top. I think he's
Whereas
proven
someone
himself
like
at
Aaron
the top
Smith
level,
has
though.
ruled the roost for about a whole year now.
But Aaron
he
Smith
took-
hasn't been a standout for this World Cup.
Not for
No,
this World
he's
Cup
been a
so
bit-
far, I think. But it's very difficult for someone in the All Blacks team to stand out.
No, but Milner Scudder has.
Kieran Reid.
I do agree, but I think both Reid and Aaron Smith have not performed perhaps to the level that you expect. I mean, to the point where they stand out. They've still been good, but they haven't overperformed as they normally do.
I think I'm reading a lot into the Super Rugby performances where Smith.
Well,
was,
yeah,
he
Smith was
fantastic
absolutely
in
on
taking
fire. Yeah,
the
he was.
Highlanders all the way, and they were
Why is-
almost.
Not that I don't think he's a decent player, but why has Alan Wynne-Jones been nominated for player?
Why has
He
Dan
put-
Carter been nominated?
Why is Greg Laidlaw being nominated?
Laidlaw because he was the top point scorer in
Yeah,
the
Laidlaw's
No,
kept
is he?
Scotland in
Sanchez will
contention.
be a top.
I mean, even
He probably will be now.
Surveyor's had better years than this.
I think Surveyor has had a very bad, and then against the French, he suddenly came out and blew everybody
Yeah.
away.
I mean, at the
That's
start of
basically
the year,
New Zealand for
Super
most of the
Rugby,
World Cup, though.
he was on fire first at the start of the year, and then coming into the playoff finals, and when they had the breaks to play the summer tests, I can't remember who they played New Zealand this year. Did they have
I'm
a summer
not sure.
series?
No, they play fewer games because we don't tour over there.
Yeah, that's right.
And they don't even get a full rugby championship as well. So,
So they had a break. They had a break, and then they went into the playoffs, and he just got a bit fat really, and he's only coming back to his full form now.
Well, he's been they've been doing crazy training during that group stages just to get everybody up to
Yeah.
speed.
Well, the story was as well in the rugby championship, he didn't play against South Africa, and the initial
Oh, Sim,
because he had an
you've lost
asthma
it.
attack, so they didn't want to risk him.
Okay.
Am I still in?
no,
Sorry.
you dropped for a bit. Didn't want to risk
Hello?
something.
I heard asthma attack.
Yes, the Surveyor had an asthma attack going into the South Africa game.
Oh shit!
and
Really?
didn't play. Yeah, in training, so they didn't play him. But then it later came out that the reason he had that asthma attack is because they were running him into the ground because he was too fat.
Yeah, and I'm
Wait, when
not
was this?
surprised.
This World
that-
Cup or Rugby Championship?
Rugby championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
and,
not surprised,
That's one of
to
the
be
reasons why he hasn't been at his best is because, by his own admission, he loves food.
Who's
Fair enough.
Was that Harble?
Well, no, was it?
I don't think it was, but it sounded like him for a
Somebody
second.
came in and dropped straight back out. Yeah.
I think it was Adam. Maybe I don't know. Somebody came in and dropped out. That was.
And again,
Oh,
it says line break rugby. Join this
Great.
what's going on? Everybody's muting themselves and unmuting themselves.
I think
I
that's
muted
just...
myself so that I could have a conversation so that it wouldn't be heard over the
okay.
mic. I was trying to be sensible.
Mine keeps cutting out. It's a bit annoying.
Can everyone
Okay.
hear me still?
Yeah, Sim, I can hear you.
Yeah.
It's just. I'm okay. I'm reducing the tabs that I've opened, but it's my computer can handle it. It's just I don't think my internet connection can handle it.
Okay, I'm back.
So for me, if I just throw some stuff in for Pocock, like
Throw some stuff in.
I think so. The reason Pocock stands out for me is I think it's quite hard for a forward to really assert themselves, and at the end, for a,
Really?
well, so for someone who's just watching the game, it's easy to be like, oh, that back had a great game, but like. As someone who has like a middling rugby knowledge, right, I can watch it and I can sort of see something. If I'm
Yeah.
really noticing a forward, then they must be having an absolute blinder. And like that's speaking as someone who played as a forward. Like, and every time Pocock has played, I've been like, oh my god, Pocock is having a blinder.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
Where did you play then in the forwards?
I played second row, but like keep in mind, like not for
What a Nancy.
and
You would have hated me then if you played second row.
I,
Front row master race, you know?
I purely played like
You would have hated me even more.
you know, that's how. Like, I was not a tactical player. I was just a bigger guy who would go and get the ball. But
I don't think second rows. So I think it's even harder. I know what you're saying about forwards. So a front row can appear to win scrums and win games through scrums. And a back row forward can appear to win games through tackles and
Hardest for a
turnovers.
second row, absolutely.
Second rows, unless they're absolutely the king of the air in the line out, and even then, nobody talks about them really, and they
Brody
have to make.
Retallick won it last
Brody
year,
won
didn't
it.
he?
Yeah.
But
But
that's because Brody Retallick he does so much more than a normal lock does.
yeah, his
in the
breakdown work and his work to clear out and to carry.
Even as a
are
link
way
man
more.
passing the ball, I think they overdone it with him this year when they have him alone in the midfield as a link man. But
They've had to
he's
change.
phenomenal.
They've had to change the role of lock because they do need to do everything now. They're almost an extra
they're
back
extra
row.
flankers, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, it's an
definitely.
extra back row forward. Which I think is brilliant for the game, but it's certainly something that in England we have Launchbury as our extra back row, or we have Laws, but we don't.
Yeah.
We used to have Borthwick, and he's not an
Itoshi in the
extra.
future.
Yeah, but Borthwick's not an
or
extra
Itoshi.
back row,
6.
and it's useless. That's the
Wait,
old school
Is he a
England.
6 or a lock?
He's a
Like,
6.
is he?
I think in an ideal world you should always have a 6 that can play lock.
Yeah.
Tom Croft could play lock, I think.
He
really
can't.
think
Well,
he
no,
would.
so he
he's
can't.
not
I don't
really
think he
a
can
forward,
play
is he?
lock. No, he's a
Tom Croft should have been a
flying,
winger.
He's a flying winger.
No, he's serious. I mean, he would have
I
been
know,
a better
but-
during. He would have been a better wing choice than Chris Ashton for a.
He
That's
wouldn't have
irrelevant, but yeah. So yeah.
I can't believe that. Just going back to the England point. I mean, I've never really spoken about England with you guys, but I can't believe Rocco Daguni didn't get picked for the squad.
I think he had an ankle something or other.
He was in the
Oh,
extended squad. He got dropped.
Oh really?
towards
Well,
the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it
probably
seemed
did
like he got
disappoint me.
picked for the game against New Zealand, and
Yeah,
then
he played
just
well, I
got
thought.
pushed out of the squad after
Oh
playing
yeah,
quite well.
that's it. In last year's autumn internationals, he got one game and he didn't play the rest because he picked up an ankle injury.
He picked up an
okay.
England and just never came back in. I think.
Yeah, and he didn't get a shout for the Six Nations, which was
It would be
I thought that was a
sad
shame.
if Dunguni was only a one-test player because he is quite exciting when he gets on the field. But a lot of people do talk about him, like they do wonder if he's got a kicking game. Like he doesn't kick the ball a lot, which is very exciting. But it's the reason he doesn't kick the ball very much because he hasn't got much of a kicking game.
As much as Johnny Mays, right? Or
Well, yeah.
Johnny
exactly.
May's got a fantastic boot, doesn't he?
oh, has he? Okay, well, I haven't really watched much of him outside the international, so.
Oh, in
I
fact, no,
haven't
maybe
seen him.
I take that back. I think he's good for a kicking. He's got a powerful kick, but perhaps not much of a kicking game.
Ah, okay.
Fairly well.
Yeah, going back to the conversation about second rows, the chosen one has said they tend to be noticed more for their physicality, like Baki's Bota getting in the opponent's faces, which I think is pretty true.
Literally with Baki's Botha getting
Yeah.
in the opponent's faces.
Which is, I think, like for me, some of the backs which have stood out the most in a negative way are South Africa's second rows because I think they are just dicks and they get in people's faces.
I really dislike them.
I really,
But that's the whole point, though, isn't it?
No, I mean, well, maybe, but I mean, I don't dislike Ireland's locks or Scotland's locks, or I don't even know who France's locks are. I'm not sure.
Pape.
I think they're both phenomenal players, though, aren't they?
Yeah, Pape is definitely more of a he's a bit of a dick.
Oh, that's a good point. But yeah, Aussie locks are fine. New Zealand locks, they're very scary looking. One looks like a giant evil baby, but I don't dislike them. But South
Well,
Africa's
if Sam
locks are
Whitelock had a real
wankers.
haircut and shaved his beard, he'd look quite normal and gentle, I reckon. But Brody Retallick looks like something out of Frankenstein's monster.
He looks like a cave troll.
He's been revived.
But then going back to Lou Diaga, Lou Diaga looks like a giant baby, right?
Yeah.
Giant baby who's about 120 kilos and 6'6" or whatever.
I feel sorry for the mum that gave birth to that.
Well, the Tuolagi mum as well. Seven kids, 6 of them are
If we
rugby.
get into that, then Vunapola too.
Poor vagina, it must be fucking.
Imagine if they were twins. Boom. You could fit a double decker in that.
Choo-choo.
Christ. Well, I think this was not the direction we were intending to take this.
I don't know.
commentary.
Yeah.
Brings tone down.
What?
So
Never.
yeah, back onto tomorrow's game then. Has anybody got any thoughts about it?
I'd like Australia to win, and beyond that, I don't think they will.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And that's about the long and short of it.
Well, did anybody see that link that I sent through earlier about the Daily Mail using their long lenses
Yeah.
to?
Like that is like if that is true information, I can't believe they posted that. I mean,
No, I know.
I don't think there's any.
Oh, it was posted on the sub earlier on, as a Telegraph link as well, so it's not just the Mail that have picked it up.
Yeah,
But it seems
Oh, okay.
like such a prickish thing to do.
Yeah, the male broke it, which they shouldn't have done. Like, if you've got that kind of thing, like that can change a match. Like, that's
Well, if you look at the
Did someone just open a window while driving down the motorway? What's that noise?
Is it loud?
It's not too loud, but it's noticeable.
It came and went, I think.
Sav's commuting right now.
Are you sure we shouldn't try and get in touch with Fred, see if he can just either on
Give us some
Wi-Fi-
live from the stadium
Live
news.
from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, for anyone who's listening, Fred is actually at the stadium. So
What a wanker.
I can't believe Adam's getting upvoted for being like, oh, at least we're under the salary cap. It's like, phew.
Well,
It's
that's the
just
thing
like-
we're being accused of, isn't it?
No, yeah, no, I get it, but it's just you're not under the salary cap, really. You're just legally under the salary cap. It's like
Technically
That's the whole
under the
point.
salary cap.
it's not. Wow, it's half the point.
It's not really.
It's the amount you spend, and
With an asterisk.
you're with an asterisk.
I
The whole
mean,
point is
massive
the salary
aspect.
cap. It's the rules defined by the Premiership Rugby or whatever.
Yeah,
We've
which
got
means they
under
need
that.
to
If we've-
tighten. They need to tighten their
They need
definitions.
to tighten it, but that's not our fault.
Yeah,
We
well, it's
found
not your
other ways
fault
to do it.
legally, but it is. We should still be annoyed at the
If we
regulations.
found other ways to get around it, I think that's just more clever. You'd be praising your lawyers for doing that rather than.
Yeah, but it's like
I think-
Google or Amazon just not paying their corporation tax. It's like,
not
well
our
done,
fault.
you.
They can stop it if they want to.
Which they should, but that's a
But
different
The
that's
thing
thing.
with the salary cap is that I think
Yeah.
with the salary cap it should be clear. I mean, in the NFL, all salaries are they're public, and so you really know straight away. You add the numbers up, and you know straight away if someone's under or over the cap.
But this would probably reveal that they're fine. It's just the sponsorship deals, I think, is the thing that's.
The other thing is that you could change the salary cap to the NBA style, where there's a luxury tax. So you have a salary cap, and if you go over it, then you have to pay however much you go over it to the other teams.
But that's kind of what they've done now, haven't they? Reached a monetary settlement.
Well,
Unofficially, they might have done.
it's all unofficial. Nobody knows.
Yeah, but there was an idea that Bath have reached that kind of settlement because they may have gone over, and so yeah.
And Brian Moore's going mental over it.
Brian Moore is having the time of his life right now.
I need to follow him with the line break account because I've given up on my personal account. I just can't be bothered to check it anymore. It doesn't interest me.
Oh, is there a
So-
Line Break Rugby Twitter account as well?
Yeah, exactly. We have 25 followers. All I do
Excellent.
basically is go on that and just look at whatever, because I'm just following all rugby people.
You know what, Sam? I'm gonna follow it right now. I'm gonna give you that.
I'll
that-
do that
like,
later, yeah.
We're gonna get like 10% follow. I don't know what
Oh, yeah, that's-
25 is. Well, it's 1/25th. You're gonna, yeah.
Right, so we go back to the game.
Oh wait, I'm already following it.
I don't think we need to talk about the game until it kicks off. I quite enjoy
Yeah,
just this
I think
rambling.
so.
We
I
can
mean-
comment on who has the best anthem.
Is this
That's
at,
always fun.
is this at Wembley or is it at the Olympic Stadium? Or...
Olympic
The Olympic
Stadium.
Stadium.
The
I was wondering
Olympiad.
why
They're
there's a- I was
Where do you
wondering why there's
suppose
a
they
track
are
on
at the
there.
moment? Because they're walking over a running track.
That's the
It's
training area where Usain Bolt was for the 100 meters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember because they had lots of background footage of him.
It's the new West Ham ground,
Victor Matfield needs to be in an ad for
isn't it,
like
this?
non-greying hair or whatever, or the stuff that you put on your hair to stop him
West
going grey.
West Ham are having a really good season actually.
Oh, don't start
yeah,
with the
not
football.
talking about rugby on this podcast. Oh, sorry, football on this podcast.
Oh yeah. I didn't know. I thought I made one football reference and everybody went silent, but it turned out my feed just cut out.
Yeah, deserved it, to be honest.
I really want Argentina to win this. You
Oh,
guys.
and
What a
if
mustache.
if Supercross Prawn is listening, I'm kind of supporting the Springboks.
Oh,
Mainly because
yeah.
I don't want them to have a complete flop of a World Cup. I know they haven't because they've got this far, but they did lose against Japan, and you know it's not been great.
The one thing I will say is I won't be very happy if I see one driving more from a line out in this
Oh yeah,
game.
God, that'll be boring, won't it?
Well, yeah, because you shouldn't
Needs to
do
be-
it in a third place
Oh,
player.
Yeah, like in a third place game, you would expect, this is why I'm sort of disappointed Argentina's had so many injuries. You'd expect just some really fun, open rugby.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
they'll struggle with Hernandez off the pitch. They would have preferred him to be.
I know.
Yeah.
No Imhoff. I think I'm upset by that. As long as this is all broken play.
Did you see the guy carrying the South Africa flag?
Yeah.
No, what do you do?
He was like
Well, the other thing
signaling
is-
the camera. He had one finger out, was like pointing down the camera.
There's been a lot of talk about Cordero and how he's had a really good tournament, but for me, in the both of the last two games, he's made critical mistakes that have given the opposition an advantage. I mean, against Ireland, he had the
he created the
quick
chance
tap.
for her against.
Yeah, but he had the quick tap in his own 22 against Ireland that he had ripped out and then he knocked it on, and that was the scrum that went and Ireland scored a try from it. And then this last week, against Australia, another quick tap knocks it on, and then from that scrum, Australia score a try again, and they're both in his 22. And
Wasn't one of those quick taps not actually a knock on, just Wayne Barnes thought it was?
it might have been. Wayne Barnes thinks a lot of things.
I mean, there was he apologized to him. He said, "Sorry, I thought it was a knock on," but you watched it in the replay, and they were hard. Like normally, I'm pretty pro Wayne Barnes, but he dropped a clanger on that one.
Oh, we've linked the Twitter. There we go.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
looking, and
Hugh
I think-
Bishop.
I think
Hey,
I
Hugh.
wrote something about it a little while ago as well with Wayne Barnes in the South Africa Wales quarterfinal, just before Fourie Dupuis scores. Wayne Barnes misses about 5 scrum infringements at that scrum.
Yeah.
5.
I
It's
don't
like-
think. I actually don't think there is a referee at the top level right now who understands the scrum properly and can actually ref it well. They're
the
just.
funny thing for
You
me
have
is
to
though,
look for about 50 different things. It's
But there's,
incredibly
I
hard
know,
to
I
actually-
understand it's hard, but there are no. I think that the time has come where we actually need a front row to be a referee.
Or just have
I
bring
think
the scrum ref.
maybe they give it to the TMO and use a spider cam and make sure everyone's pushing for it.
I've said this before, but we need a. I think we've said it in one of the podcasts that hasn't been released. I think that the controversial call is to have a scrum ref, to have
Yes,
someone
I agree. I think that's a
who
good idea.
literally knows
The
what
problem
there's
with having
happening
a
at
front
scrum.
rower on the pitch as a scrum ref is that the scrum
front
will
row.
finish and then 30 seconds later he'll still be jogging halfway off the pitch and getting in everyone's way.
I think also the thing is, like, a lot of the guys who know and understand the scrum the best and who will be best equipped to referee that scrum are in the scrum. They're playing,
Yeah.
Well, no, but you could say the same about most of
in
it,
fact,
though.
he's got a point though, because if you think how much the scrum laws have changed in the last couple of years, that it would have to be someone who has learned the scrum laws in the last couple of years, and therefore, if that's the case, why not just send all the current
But that's
referees
what's
to learn how to scrum?
ongoing CPD courses and everything. You attend them, you learn how it works, and then you go and talk to the players and you find stuff out. If you're a good referee, you spend half your time figuring out all these little nuances.
Okay.
I've got my TV muted. Is Victor Matfield doing a good job with that anthem just there?
I'm
I've got
muted.
no idea. I've got it on quiet so I can listen to you.
We
bastards.
all have to mute, so we're really useless when it comes to listening to the TV.
You're a player. Alright, okay.
Oh, here we go. So I can hear someone playing it.
No, I was putting it on. I didn't think it would be able to notice it.
That sounds strangely like a bit of an Australian or Kiwi accent to me.
Me?
Oh, just putting it on, mate, and just putting it back on you.
Barbs is infiltrated.
Oh, we've got to get him on for a commentary tomorrow.
Is he?
Yeah, but it's like
not
3,
getting-
isn't it 3
No,
in the
I-
morning?
I know.
Where is it?
That's
Where's
such a bad
everybody watching the
decision.
matches? Is anybody going out for the game or?
I might go
I think
to
I'll watch it
Richmond
after.
or Trafalgar Square fan zones just for that one.
Oh, okay. I'm probably going to watch it with a lot of non-rugby fans.
That's
Oh,
probably
really?
a good thing.
Garrett-
Introduce as many people as possible.
Monica Mayer's
Yeah.
going to be around for another year after the World Cup.
Who reckons that? Garrett does.
Yeah.
No
The
Creevy.
thing,
Yeah.
the thing for me is, who
Remy.
do they get otherwise? If they get rid of Meyer, who do they bring in?
I mean,
Stuart Lancaster.
right? Change their attitude.
I
You don't
think
think
if
it's-
Stuart Lancaster came in and changed him from the top down, you wouldn't be getting. I mean, they'd be a nicer Springbok team. Put it that way.
Yeah, but no one wants a nicer Springbok team.
Yeah, it's
I would-
true. It's
No, we
not
like to
right.
hate them.
I've just added this live stream to our liked videos, guys.
Do you know who I'd like to see as the coach of the Springbok team? Carlos Spencer. I think the world would blow up.
Oh my god, the offloads.
Carlos Spencer. It's like everything you've learned.
But that's
forget it.
that's a complete clash of styles. That's like.
Here's the thing. Do you think there's any point in any coach having a, I don't know, any tenure at, in his coaching position of a national team?
As in,
So
like,
if they're gonna if they're gonna not reach the next World Cup, then they should stop immediately after the one they're at. Do you not think? Because if they go like a year or two
I
into their
don't think
contract,
I kind of understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's ever been that situation because anyone who is struggling to qualify for the next World Cup is not at the top tier because even losing to Japan, South Africa was still always going to qualify for the next World Cup by coming third, even if they had by some problems ended up third. So I think that's never been a problem yet. It might be later,
but at this point, is it about qualification as much as it is about preparation? Like if you
that's what I mean. It's not about how they do. It's about what the coach can do for the team, or because if the coach is going to change everything, top down, coming in 2 years into a World Cup cycle, then it's kind of a mess. Whereas he should have come in and done that right after the previous World Cup.
Okay.
If you're up against a team that's been preparing,
What kind of coach you're going to go for? If it's somebody similar or if it's someone completely different.
Yeah, if you just want to change your face with a slightly different voice in the changing room, then it's fine. But if you want a completely different attitude towards rugby, then maybe it needs to be.
So if it was Jake White, then maybe in 2 years' time that's fine. But if it's Carlos Spencer, then it's probably got to be tomorrow.
Yeah, no, and it probably.
I think this should really become a campaign. Carlos Spencer for the Springboks.
Is he even qualified to level 5 coaching or level 4 coaching? Like, what's his actual?
I think World Rugby should make an exception for Carlos
do you
Spencer.
think Martin Johnson was qualified to level 5 coaching?
No, he's probably
a
level 3 or level 4, but
There we go.
I reckon he did
Andre
earn
Pollard,
it.
lads. What's everyone's thinking on Andre Pollard?
He's done all right.
Well, he's not as good as
Soft most
Sanchez
of
because
his
he's not
kicks.
in my fantasy team.
The thing with
He
Martin-
hasn't
what's
really.
important.
They haven't really
here's some-
developed his game in 2 years, though.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
Like people were like losing their shit about Andre Pollard, and he's not been all that impressive. Like he's been fine and impressive for his age, I suppose, but he hasn't World Cup up. I don't think.
But that's what I mean.
Oh, he's
How-
gone.
2
Sim.
years ago, in that when he was really bursting on.
Yeah.
Right.
But he hasn't delivered since.
Yeah.
Quick question: how on earth has John Lacey managed to bag himself this game? He's been
Well,
crap.
because Carlos, Craig Joubert disappeared. I was gonna say Carlos Joubert then.
No,
Craig
that's
Joubert didn't disappear.
Craig Joubert.
Oh, Ruan Pinar.
Oh, here we go, though. Here we go.
Maul it! Maul it! Maul it! That's not going to happen, is
Have
it?
you ever seen a single tackle that stopped Damien Diolande?
No, it just doesn't. I was just about to say that. They just doesn't stop him, does it? He just carries.
He
Yeah.
made the most meters in Super Rugby or something.
He
got
just
top of
carries.
like
Even
break.
Berger then just got absolutely scythed down. But
That was really
Diolande-
good defence.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a steal!
Yeah, that's what I mean. Hopefully, I get some points for that on.
No, you won't.
No, you don't.
ESPN don't care about turnovers, do they? It's so annoying.
mate.
Super brilliant.
ESPN don't care about rugby, to be fair.
They're so bad. Their stats page is so hard to read. I mean, Fred
It's such a
knows.
mess trying to get there in the first place as well, I
Yeah,
think.
it's just it's a weird database that they've laid out really oddly, and when you search for things, it's just really hard. What
Dwayne
the fuck?
Vermeulen's living offside right now.
Oh, that's a turnover.
Shocker.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah, it's
He's
gonna be
fine.
scrum.
He's fine. He's fine.
No, he's alright. He's got that back.
Oh, you guys are all over the shop with your
Sanchez
calls.
is so deep there.
He has to be though, because it's a huge rush.
The thing, like, straight away is the
No,
ball.
that's advantage anyway from
It's all
knock
gone
on.
wrong.
Strong
Fuck
Knock
me!
on advantage.
What are you doing? Yeah,
All
Sanchez
gone
is
wrong.
standing really deep because it's so slow off the base.
Yeah, the scrum half is not throwing the ball very hard. Like it's
It's
really
looping. It's a slow ball. It's not
Like
a.
a drift.
Pass.
That was the thing that used to annoy me more than anything, when your scrum half is just giving you the worst service in the world.
Are you a 10?
Oh, you're 10, 15.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair. This sounds similar to my life.
The only reason I ever played
play
15 is
anymore.
because the forwards hated me too much to let me play 10 all the time.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was like, right, boys, wherever we are, we're going to run from here.
Oh, all right. Yeah. That's the way to play rugby. It's always
I
a
think
cutout.
the second season I ever played, I think the forwards, a lot of them lost a stone or half a stone within the first 3 months of the
You have to play.
Doctors hate him.
Oh, look at that! The scrum's staying up.
It's funny, you could even see
What
one
the
of them.
hell?
Argentina, South Africa are going to start breaking apart there later on in the game.
They're here to play
That was
rugby.
their
Villy
scrum,
at
and
first receiver.
There goes a shoulder.
You mean Villy LaRue? That guy.
That guy.
Oh,
Oh,
it's oh,
he didn't get the turnover.
How do they find time to decide on a new hairstyle?
They're doing
really
those.
difficult,
They're doing
surprisingly.
those. They're doing those shin tackles where they're scything
Yeah.
people down. I hate those so
Shot
much.
tackle. Why?
Why do you
Come
hate
out
those
down.
tackles?
Because if you don't use an arm, you just break someone's standing foot.
All right. Well, yeah.
Because it's not a wrap, it's just a straight-on blunt instrument hitting a leg that could be static. And if it's static, you lose your leg. Oh, fuck off, Willie. What are you doing?
Really?
Terrible.
Damn it, Willie.
That's Sav every night
I love-
after a few
See,
drinks.
this is the thing. This should be exactly Willie Leroux's kind of game, but
Yeah, it's
for
open
some
free
reason,
game. He was at first
he-
receiver.
Oh,
Oh,
what a chance.
that's brilliant.
that's a steal.
That's
Yeah.
a great steal.
Penalty against Vermeulen, surely
Rule
there,
number
maybe
one,
not.
if the ball's on the floor, fucking jump on it.
I don't think the
But
ref
no, I
seems
mean, he
to...
managed
He's
to-
off, his head is always below his hips. Oh, it really
So,
annoys
right,
me.
so right there,
Bollocks
Francois
penalty.
Lert has clearly came in from the side of the ruck and then gone to the back.
Oh, he's
Oh,
going,
he's
they're
gonna-
playing.
Oh,
Tackle him,
tackle
don't
him, you
tackle him.
That's a
silly
fair
bastard's going to get a
thing,
yellow
I wrote
card.
about that yesterday.
That was forward.
Here's a bet. Will Genia tomorrow. Yellow card for Will Genia tomorrow.
God, please no.
Put some
I just-
bets on it.
You heard it here first.
Aaron Smith is absolutely
What?
going to
Oh,
tap the
come on.
penalty.
How is...
Oh, no, don't
There
bin
we
him.
go. He's
That
going
is
to yellow
such
card
a
in the third
bollocks
place match.
call.
Oh, you
It's
Third
cynical.
place playoff.
He
It
does
is
it from 2
cynical.
meters away.
No,
But no, I
who's-
know, but how... The amount of space they got from that... I mean, I get that, yellow card advantage, that's going to be considerably longer than just a
Oh,
regular
wait, it wasn't
penalty advantage.
Sanchez. It wasn't
He got-
Sanchez.
He
It
got a
doesn't matter.
long way up the pitch.
Okay, now just going back a week now, in the Australia versus, who did they play? Argentina, yeah.
Yeah.
Will Genia does exactly the same thing.
Oh, yeah, he should have seen yellow.
Yeah.
Hang on. He was cynically tackling a man within 10 metres of a tap-and-go penalty.
Are you
Parents don't
explaining
know the laws
yours?
of rugby.
They've kicked for the corner. They're going to
Jesus.
maul this now, aren't
How
they?
can you be Wallaby
Does
Joe's
it?
parents and not know the laws?
If they maul this, they should be ashamed of themselves. Yep, they're going to maul it.
They need to
Why
take
would
a
they not maul
test.
it?
They need to take a test, Wallaby. Mr. Ed.
No,
This is awful.
Why is it
This
awful?
is-
It's a tool.
because why are they trying to maul it in the third place game? I mean, I get that,
What?
tries are important
Do you not want to win
to
it?
everyone, but
You don't want to win the game. They
open up a bit.
Who the fuck wants to
They're-
win
here's
a
the thing,
third place
they've
playoff
got-
with a maul?
They now have a man overlap, and they're not throwing it out to the wing.
No, that's because
That's what
Delande's going to suck in
Well,
every single player under the sun.
Pollard's going to get the ball now at some point, and his instincts are going to be saying kick
Drop
it. and
goal,
his face
drop
is gonna
goal, drop
be
goal.
A really weird
They've got a pen
contortion.
advantage.
Drop goal, drop goal. Oh,
No, he's
Duplessis.
stopped short.
Oh,
I
fuck's
think he's
sake.
short.
I've got
Oh,
Duplessis.
short.
I want him to get a try.
Okay, there he should have gone straight for touching
Oh,
it down on the
shit.
corner.
Wow, what an
Oh,
awful
he's going to
pass.
get a penalty for that, surely.
That's got to be a yellow again.
That's ridiculous.
I actually think Villy
You
nearly
can't-
messed that up.
That
Well,
as much as I disagree with
That
the
was a
last one,
horrible pass.
That was a
no,
really-
not a pass.
absolutely
That-
taken out there.
That shoulder barge, that was
Villy LaRue nearly messed that up though. He passed it just horribly. There was no momentum on the ball, and I noticed Sim noticed it immediately as well, because Tens notice when there's a bad pass.
Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
End result.
That's all we have. Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
end result's what counts. But
It's a try, definitely.
Just-
Try.
yeah, it's a try, but
we need
I mean,
to see it from the
are
behind.
they
with
not
the
going to
line
review
view.
that
Here we go behind.
non-tackle bullshit? I mean,
I'm going to just rewind
Yeah,
it
that's
myself and have a look.
Oh,
yeah, that's fine, but
that right foot. Oh no, it's in touch.
no,
I'm
that's fine.
just rewinding it myself now. And so who are we looking at? Which player made the tackle?
Oh,
What do you mean?
try.
What tackle?
That late
the
hit shoulder
charge.
barge.
I don't know.
Oh,
He's a
yeah, it
dirty
was a
bastard,
push,
he should
was
be
it?
yellow carded.
They've just ignored it. I think.
Push
You're
away.
doing something,
Yeah,
Christian
maybe-
Cluj. What's
They
up?
hadn't scored the try, they wouldn't have ignored it.
Oh, here they'll show it now. Okay.
Has he given the try?
Yeah, he's given it.
Oh, it wasn't that
That's just
bad.
a shove.
That wasn't
Yeah,
that
fair enough.
bad. You guys all went mental
It was a
over
push.
that.
It was a push. Yeah.
Quality with
Oh,
it.
it looked worse.
Because it's
Ah,
just-
all of you. What is wrong with you?
I got a bit,
It's a
bit
contact
overexcited.
sport. This
forward.
isn't football.
Lovely kick.
That's a
It's
nice
soft
kick,
forward,
though.
that's what it is.
Down the middle.
But yeah, it was really a really bad pass. He threw it way too hard, right into his
Terrible.
body.
Absolutely
It
terrible.
should have been a much softer pass. I mean, you've got the replay now, and you'll see now he just flings it right behind him almost, at head height.
I suppose he had to get it across quickly. Maybe I think Peterson might have overrun it. Actually, he should have been coming from deeper.
Why are you moaning? He scored the try.
Look at that expression. on
Because
his
every
face.
single 10 wants a winger to score at full pace, unopposed.
He just scored.
Yeah, I know, unopposed though. That's the key.
I mean, for me, as like somebody who played as 10 and 15, you want somebody to come running onto the ball at pace.
Oh.
Because even if they're not that fast, if they're running, and they're pretty much top speed, you can put a pass onto them and they'll break the line every single time.
Wait, can someone check the stream? Because Christian said there's no sound.
Ah, brilliant. That's hilarious.
It's not actually live. That's brilliant.
That's all we're good for.
No, I've got sound. I've just checked. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
I've got
wrong.
sound as well.
So we went up to 21 and we're now back down to 13.
Oh, that's bad.
I don't really know what I don't know what we said that was so offensive, but
Maybe it was my Australian impression turned all the Australians off.
How we pronounce his surname wrong?
Oh,
well, that was a nice little bounce there.
He almost fucked that up though. He shanked it.
It was a delightful kick.
So far in this third place playoff, we've seen a yellow card, a driving maul, and a kick for touch in the other side, in the other half.
In the opening 8 minutes.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
a great game.
there is
forget the
sound.
Here we go.
Oh.
Defensive ball.
It's a wait. It's a hard G and spoken E, no I sound.
Wait, what's this for?
So it's just
Clugger?
kluge or clug,
Oh,
Plugger.
what?
cluggy.
Cluggy?
No,
Who's Cluggy?
clug or
Let's
clu-
just say our friend Chris.
Christian.
Chris K.
I don't understand why Ruben Pienaar kicked that so far.
Yeah, sometimes I don't see why bother with a kickoff if you can't compete.
That's well played from the
Unless
wing.
you
Oh,
actually kick it.
oh,
If you
dear.
kick it deep into their 22, so you force them to kick it,
Oh,
and then
they've even got Chris Pollock on the touch. He's crap as well. God, they got shafted with these refs.
I was trying to talk tactics, and Ed
Sorry.
goes back to ranting.
Sorry, yeah,
about
you were
refs.
saying about the box kick, yeah.
Well, no, essentially you force them to. So there's two options for me from a kickoff. There's one where you do it short and you can compete, or there's one where you do it long and you force yourself to have a line out on around the 40-meter mark. Those
Well,
are
this is
what I
the All
think are the
Blacks did
two
against South
options.
Africa last weekend is they targeted their kickoff because South Africa really struggled, didn't they, to get out of their own
Forward,
half.
surely.
It will
No,
look
yeah,
it's very
that
very
one was
flat.
forward, I think.
I tell you, wasn't
That
there?
last one to Habana was forward, I think.
There was a kick-off. There was a restart. I think, perhaps not New Zealand,
Give it,
South Africa,
give it.
but
Oh.
Australia, Argentina, where the kick-off bounced so sweetly into
There
touch.
we
They
go.
were all sprinting forwards.
I mean,
Jesus,
he's done it.
Habana scored!
Has he done it? Has he broken the record?
Jesus Christ!
I think he's done it.
John, did you see Lacey's face there? He's absolutely buzzing that he's going to give the try.
that was a
Havana breaks the
that was a
record with.
poacher's try, because I think our Argentinian fullback should have had that.
He should have. That was bad play.
The bounce was unlucky. Look at it. Oh no, he grounded it.
Oh, no!
not
too
try,
bad.
He
not
did
try,
have it.
not
He
try.
did have it.
Unlucky Brian.
Oh, the try that
long
never
his time
was.
Breathe a sigh of relief there.
His time
His
will
hands under us.
come. What are you
Why
on
did he
about?
put his hands over it?
And Morosino.
No, that's not a try.
No, it's
Nah.
not. It's not.
If anything, that's a knock-on. It's not though.
That's
It's
not
grounding
right.
by the RG, so it's what's that? 22 dropout.
22
Oh,
dropouts.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lacey, you messed up. You can't give that.
He looks disappointed even.
Of course he does. He wanted to give it.
Oh, it's true.
Do you know, I was listening
Yeah.
to a somebody sent me a link to the Green and Gold Rugby podcast the other day,
That sounds awful.
and it was absolutely awful. I heard the phrase, yeah, so basically Nigel's got a bit of a crush on the All Blacks, and
yeah, I keep seeing that narrative.
and it,
Oh,
but
played by
he's
the
played
prop.
147 games. If he really is cheating all the time, then perhaps at least a few refs would have called him out on
Hey,
it.
look at this.
Yeah.
That's
Too
No.
long. Too long. He's
Terrible.
playing on a shorter pitch than normal, and he's kicked it too
Yeah,
long.
that's a 90
Yeah.
goal area, isn't it?
That's the one thing I don't like about playing it on a football pitch.
Well, it's not even a
Is
football,
that a football
pitch.
pitch?
It's just an
That's the
Olympic arena.
Park, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Because
So
at
look at that.
Twickenham-
The corner doesn't even extend. It gets cut off from the actual
At
grass to the
Twickenham,
Astro on the
that was
side.
long
Lovely
enough.
hands from Matfield.
That must be what it feels
Do you
like.
think that's the first time that Matfield's ever done that in his life?
He's rolling back the years.
But at Twickenham,
his
that's
hair.
long enough. By the way, that kick.
At
would have stayed
Murrayfield,
in.
he'd have. Murrayfield's in goals are like 22 metres, aren't they?
Mm. They're pretty damn big.
Oh,
Oh, that
That's-
looked horrible
that
on your
was horrible,
ankle.
Matthew.
Three of them there.
Oh no, he's stuffed it.
No,
No,
he's
he's
alright.
fine,
He's alright.
still in.
Recycled. Like all good 15s, he's a wriggly little bugger.
So basically, everybody is a good 15 apart from Israel for that.
Well, no, Israel Folau's like he's greased up. Like he's not very wriggly, but
Just about Folau though. I mean, he's a great runner in open play, and he's great under the high ball. But as a 15, he's got no tactical kicking game.
no, it doesn't exist. But he doesn't really need it because he runs it back so well. He always
But the
takes
thing
2
is-
or 3 people on the run back.
For me, what the All Blacks and
poor
that's
kick.
poor.
That's
What
terrible.
the All
yeah.
Blacks have done and what the Highlanders did in this season's Super Rugby is they really targeted him with their kicking game, which is it sounds really weird, doesn't it? In that you're going to target one of the best
You force him
open
to
field
run
runners
into a
in the
good
world.
defence. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they would do is they just they turn him and put him under pressure. Fekitoa was great at this. He'd just run him down, and then a few times he just ripped the ball from him and ran through and scored.
What's Folau's step like?
Brilliant.
I mean, I know his
Nah,
foot's
it's
a bit
pretty-
buggered at the
it's
moment.
pretty
It's
but-
damn
massive
useful.
though. It's massive. It's like it's so exaggerated. He'll step down and
Yeah, it's
that was-
quite. If you
Lovely
know
hit,
he's going to do it, because it's I don't know, it's not quick. So Milner Scudder steps quick, whereas Folau's quite, like you say, it's
like it's not
exaggerating
as smooth
quite
as
slow.
Milner
Because
Scudder.
in like Quade
Yeah.
Cooper's step, he does that funny little dance.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
What is that?
Why?
Okay.
Why?
I think it's
I didn't see that. What actually happened?
It's obstruction, apparently.
the ball was out, and I think the guy just stood there. I think he was saying it was open play, so I don't know if he's counting that as a
If
obstruction.
they go for the post, I'm going to be so disappointed right now.
They will do.
They should tap it and go from here.
Test game.
Oh, those
Oh,
boring
you
bastards.
Prick.
It's a test
Come
game.
on.
Oh, stop saying it's a
No,
test
but
game. It's a third place
this is-
playoff. No one cares.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I know no one likes the game, but it should be a point where they can let loose a little bit.
Okay, there's
Where
no
they can-
ruck form there.
No, well,
So it's
maybe.
open play.
Yeah, so it's not obstruction.
Well, the ball was available, and he was just standing over it because it went
but the
past
thing
it went past the ball carrier's feet backwards or whatever, and he
I mean,
was
I'd
just
have-
standing in the path of the ball. So it should
I'd have
be
to watch it
fairly
again and rewind it, but from what I saw there wasn't any players bound to the tackle.
Everyone's banging on about forward passes in the thread.
Yeah, there have been loads.
Yeah, but I
In
just,
what, in the Reddit?
yeah, in the Reddit, in the sub. Yeah, that's where we always end up. To be fair, when in doubt, we always end up in the sub.
Everyone's banging on about forward passes. Yeah, that's usually with every rugby game, though, isn't it? There's always like some passes forward or not.
Well, they always try and call it, don't they?
How many minutes till Belly's back on?
They
I
don't-
don't know.
they
Why
don't-
don't
they
they have a
need to-
clock for that?
Oh, I knew you'd set it off. Why'd you set it off? You knew that would set him off, and you said it, and you knew it was going to
There we
happen.
go.
No,
There's
it
the
comes
timer.
on.
I don't know. I don't
It
know.
was their 9 as well.
You
Oh,
said
yeah,
it.
there we go.
He's trying to come back on early.
Oh.
Just speaking about
Scrum half,
going
kind of
back
yellow
to
shirt.
scrum half yellow cards, I think it's going to happen tomorrow. Will Genia, he just can't help himself. Anytime somebody taps a penalty, he has to do it. He just can't help himself.
It's
Happened
because
against
he's
Wales,
slow.
happened
He's a
against
slow 9,
Lions.
so he has to.
Argentina.
And it's funny because I think Aaron Smith, like, if I am Steve Hansen, and I'm glad I'm not with that face, but if I'm him,
Oh, he's got a
I'm
rugby
saying
brain
to him,
Oh,
though.
go and run it.
at least once, just make sure
That's
you
a
just tap
mess.
and go, especially if you see Will
Oh,
Genia as the
what the
first
fuck
man
was
in front of
that?
you.
Good, good.
That was definitely
Sorry,
forward.
but Villy should not have switched. Delande shouldn't have tried to offload, and it was just a complete mess. They all ran the wrong lines. They all gave the wrong passes. And Sim, I know
Jesse
you were
Creel playing
talking,
today?
but
Yeah, Creel and Diolando.
That's Creel there, number 13, right? Why is
Yeah.
no one passing him the ball?
Villiers wants it.
Villy's trying to be innovative, and he's just having a little bit of a cold day.
Do you think, going slightly to the whole scrum half yellow thing, do you not think more teams should? This may be kind of perhaps a
bit
less than
sneaky.
sporting way of.
Yeah, they
playing
should.
the
I
game,
know what
but-
you're going to say. They should absolutely do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, exploit the whole players are always going to tackle early. And
Mm.
so quick tap as often as you can in the hope that as long as you've got 2 people who know what you're doing, so there's support, if you get tackled within the first yard, then brilliant. You've just won a yellow card against the other team and
Yeah.
you've got more
And
space.
Even if the referee doesn't give a yellow card, you've still, like, if you're in a dodgy area, that grey zone between are we going to be able to make the kick from here,
Yeah.
or should we go for the line out? If you're in that situation, tap it and go and see.
You
and
can chew up
get a
some
couple of
space.
meters on that. Yeah.
And so, as I say, it might not be the most sporting way to play the game, but it seems like something that could be done rather effectively by some teams because
Definitely.
the slow, especially props with their really lazy running back to get into the onside position.
They
In
just
fact,
want
probably
to
not props because they're not looking to tackle, but
I think tomorrow,
it's
Oh,
any
we lost-
team
Aaron Smith
playing
should be looking at that. And
any team playing against Genia should do it just because you're almost assured to getting a
Definitely.
stint of 10 against 14 men.
So someone's just put in the chat very simply. They're talking about Imhoff Fernandez. It's Hernandez rather than Fernandez, unless I'm getting that wrong.
Well, there are
Creevy.
lots of them.
He's saying that Sanchez is most
Fernandez,
dispensable. And
Sanchez is the
I
most
tend to agree.
dispensable, definitely.
No, indispensable. Sorry. Yeah.
No. I think. You
think you get rid of him?
In their backs, I think Hernandez is the key, because when Hernandez is there, he shoulders a lot of the wider passing responsibility, and it's very similar to the way that it works with Foley and Gitto. Foley's not actually that good a playmaker, and I don't think that Sanchez is either. He's a decent ball runner, but he makes a lot of sloppy plays.
The point that Garrett's trying to make is his kicking percentage is very, very high. And I think it's the same case with Laidlaw, where he's knocking over kicks, and that's winning games for Scotland.
But I think that, you saw it against against Australia last week. There were a number of times early on in the game where Sanchez, that pitch can't.
No, the pitch is getting a little bit
push
torn
there.
up a little bit.
It's quite
It's not so much better than some of the other pitches.
It's not horrendous though. It's not as bad as the Stade de France, to be honest. But
there was one of the last pool games was turning up appallingly.
To be fair, the F and the H are quite close to each other, Garrett. So we'll let you off a little bit.
Yeah, but just going back to that, Hernandez gives so much more in open play than Sanchez does. His passing range, his decision making.
He also doesn't need to stand as deep and actually runs onto the ball. I really dislike a deep 10, and as much as I love, this is almost heretical, but I love Johnny Wilkinson.
Oh, no shoulder.
But his style of 10 is a deep 10, and that's not necessarily the 10 that I like to see playing.
And I think one of the things that makes a difference between some of the Southern Hemisphere 10s and maybe like Quade Cooper about 5 years ago compared to Quade Cooper now is the biggest comparison, is he was very, very flat on the line back in those days.
Yeah, and he's been snapped so many times.
Yeah, and now, especially with the injuries, the shoulder injuries, they're all just mentally, I think he's just not capable of playing there anymore.
If he does play to the line, like you said, his injuries are just going to come back, and he's just going to be out for good. So, I think we've seen the last.
Oh, he was got to be offside there.
Evasive Quade Cooper.
Lacey's not playing offsides today.
Yeah, no cares.
All passes. So.
Oh, that kick was useless.
The other thing is, I think the similar thing applies with Carter as well. In that Carter, with all the injuries had in the recent years, he was really worried about getting another one.
Oh, what a hit! Elga put on his back.
That was
but
beautiful.
No, I know that everyone's saying that Carter's not quite as attacking, but he really, during the championship, he did hit that line against Australia a couple of times.
He still cuts through teams like the best.
Previously, that was happening. Over the last year or so, it was happening, but.
I've lost you.
He's almost freed from that fear of being injured now, and he's thinking, right, I can just go for it now. I've made it to here.
But he's going to France, isn't he? Oh, Creel!
Yeah, but he doesn't. He does not care about being fit for France.
No, true. Creel just absolutely was on.
He's getting such a fat paycheck as well, isn't he? He's going to be like. Well, he will.
What an offload!
The other thing is that Carter's already made a lot of money from rugby because he had that stint in Perpignan where he was the highest paid player in the world.
Well, he's going to be the highest paid again.
Well, because he did. He only played like 20 minutes because then he tore his Achilles tendon and then didn't play for them again.
Oh right.
And then he's had quite a hefty rugby New Zealand rugby contract as well for the last like 5 or 6 years. And he's made a lot of money from it. And I think he's really going to go hell for leather tomorrow. He's been really good with his defensive play this year.
Yeah, I think that is something he's drastically improved because he wasn't really known. Oh, shit, Habana's off.
Oh,
he's been stopped.
He dropped it, the silly
Delande, what are you doing? Oh, it's over. It's stopped.
Yeah. I mean, with Carter, there's two things. One great rip from Schultzberger when he just saw the ball and he just went for it.
Yeah, he keeps cutting out a little bit.
Sim, you keep cutting out every so often.
No, I think it's because my phone, Wi-Fi and my phone just.
Because you're halfway through a very, coherent sentence and then suddenly it's quiet.
So there's the knock on. Come on, that's got to be right.
No, the RG kicked it.
Yeah, it came out from Argentina. So here's the knock on. I see that's punched out of his hand. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not well. That's never really consistently enforced. Oh, this hiss again though. That was a good tackle. I like that.
That's the replacement hooker, isn't it? The young hooker.
So Garrett's made the point, and I completely agree with this because I noticed he's made the point in the chat saying that Sanchez masks Argentinians' backline deficiencies, and if he's talking about deficiencies in defence, then I think he's right because Sanchez, his defence, he got 10 tackles quicker than Lobe did. quicker
Yeah.
than he's getting
Oh yeah,
more defensive hits
defensively
in.
he's a very good player. Yeah.
He's getting more defensive hits in. Than
But this is
any
going
other
back to my point
player.
about Cordero. He might be exciting, but he's been an absolute liability in some phases of the game.
Well, you have to have the. I mean, Habana used to be a liability in defence.
Oh, I mean ball in hand as well.
Oh yeah.
But see the 10 tackles on Sanchez. Is that not just the opposition targeting him and running at him rather than Lobe going out?
I mean, we did
Down
have
the
this
10 channel.
discussion
Yeah.
about Pickamole, but it wasn't like they were losing because they were running at Sanchez. Do you know what I mean? He still
Sorry,
made
which match
those.
was
They're
this?
just trying to flatten him and take him out of the game.
Which match are we talking about?
That was the Oz game.
Oh, okay.
That
Is
was
that
the
not
Oz game.
because they're targeting him rather than he's going out in the line to make tackles? Surely
Maybe,
he's
but I think
organising the line.
quite a lot of those tackles were broken play tackles, as far as I could tell.
We've reached the final of the
Oh
Rugby World
no,
Cup.
don't do that. Tom May, you
What?
idiot. Sorry, I was broadcasting Tom May's stupid chat at the beginning of that ESPN. It does.
Oh, you've complained about him before, haven't you?
It's
Who is
so
Tom May?
annoying. They just
Called
also-
him out, said he was shit.
He was the ex-London Welsh player. He's not shit. He's got a big
okay.
mouth on Twitter for someone who never really made it. I mean, he's been a pro for a long time and he's done a lot of things, but
Lacey got uncontested scrums now, so we can see more rugby,
he
please.
just talks a lot of shit. He's very pro Armitage and Abendenham playing for England.
Benjamin, really? Is he that
Yeah.
great?
Yeah,
And I
he
was
is. He is that great.
He's good to watch.
He's hot and
Mediocre
cold.
batting
He's
for four.
completely hot and cold. And
I
you
mean,
can't-
doesn't he? He kind of lives off the back of Claremont's dominant forwards, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he was talking
And
about
when
when he was
they're
in an
not,
average
kind
bar
of-
team. He was a standout player, and he's moved to a championship-winning team,
Right.
or hopefully a championship-winning team.
But
and
let's
he's
put it this way: he
standing
was in a very strong Bath team and didn't.
No, he was in an awful Bath team.
Well, for a period of time, but he was at in the tail end of when he was there. That was a good Bath team.
He wasn't playing. He got dropped then. That was Watson coming in for him at 15.
Took him over.
Yeah, for me, if you're going to change the fullback for England, you've got to play Watson, I think, from now.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're at Noel. Who's got the
But
better
is-
fullback game?
Is,
Noel and
is
Watson.
Mike Brown a weakness? That is an awful.
No, it's not a weakness.
Mike Brown's
No,
not a weakness, he's just old.
But
Like,
you
he's
just need to
29
look
now.
at. You need to look at 2019. That's the thing. You can't
Yeah.
look at 2016 Six Nations because so what if we win that? It's like well,
This is
whatever.
the thing that England do all the time and other countries don't
Oh,
do.
God.
Is we
Can you-
have a knee-jerk reaction. We look for the next best young thing every single time.
Yeah, like we just.
it
How
doesn't-
old is Mike Brown? Like I don't think he's going to be gone in 2019. Do you?
I think
no,
Ben
it's-
Foden
it's-
should
Every
play.
team has experienced players.
No, yeah, but it's the
we're
position
looking
you
to
play.
replace everyone, and we have no one with experience. I mean,
You
Still
add
was our
4
most capped
years.
player.
You add 4 years, and you go, okay, he's 33 or however old he's going to be. He'll be in his 30s.
I think
He'll be
33 will
yeah.
be too old for a fullback at that
You
level.
can't be a
Oh,
fullback at
Oh,
33.
kick on!
Come
Oh,
on.
I thought Mike Brown was younger than that. So that's
he's 29.
okay.
He's got to go then. He can't carry on to the next World Cup.
What?
33 years old as a fullback.
Well, no, I mean, there's got to be some semblance of balance. I mean, I don't know whether we shouldn't clean house totally.
He's 30.
That would be
no,
irresponsible.
scratch it. He's 30.
He's 30,
Oh,
is he?
He's
Well, in
born
that
on
case, it's-
September the 4th.
Oh, so it's recent then.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Point
look like
is,
Victor Matfield at the
it's-
next World Cup.
But that'll be not really. He's got no hair, remember.
That's
The
true.
thing is, I really hope we don't completely clean house, but we are probably going to need a big change up. But I think the balance we need to find with experience already and those who will get experience over the next 4 years is going to be a fairly fine line, I imagine. But I just think fullback might probably be one of the things to change.
I think it
And
might be one of the
potentially the only
easiest
thing-
ones as well. If
The
you
only thing of the
think
back
about
line to change, because if we have, Kerr, Slade, Noel, JJ Tuolangi, Watson, and Pennell, or Rocket Naguni, or someone at that back line, then
Oh,
we've kept,
who's that?
Shit, cat.
5 of the 6 or 6 of the 7 positions the same,
it. Yeah.
and then you just change fullback, which
We should save this for a
I think
podcast.
fullback's quite
Yeah,
easy
probably.
to.
No, I
fullback's quite
can
easy to
publish
change.
this. I can publish this straight after the game.
Yeah.
well, it doesn't
we
get
should be,
automatic.
this is
Oh,
the
yeah,
commentary. We should be focusing on commentary, boys.
Yeah, that doesn't happen unless something amazing happens, though,
I
does it?
absolutely can't comment on this game. I mean,
It's not very
Ramsey
interesting.
Burgers off.
Ramsey just kicked the ball away again.
So where do you think Argentina go from here? They've had a great
They go up. They've been going up for ages, and I think we're
How do they go up? Where
Okay.
do they need to improve on? What areas?
I think
For them after the cup, we'll be finding replacements for the Juan Martin.
yeah.
I just don't think that exists at this point in time.
Well, they've got like Easter and stuff. I think Easter's starting tonight. But
Oh, that was
Good
nice.
kick.
That was
That's a great kick. That's a beautiful kick.
That was.
Oh,
And
Lovely.
Villy knows it. Villy's giving him the
Yeah.
grin. He knows.
mad.
He knows.
You can see here,
I think it
Berger's
just
just in a poor position going into that move there.
they need to
And
compete
he's
at
really
this
put
line
pressure
out.
on the outside defenders too.
Yeah, they need
South
to
Africa's-
stick someone up at one.
South Africa's line-out was crap all of last game, so they actually need to throw. They need to.
They need to
suppose
double,
did
double
contest
mark
already,
Victor
but-
Matfield there. And he's
Oh
throwing
no!
it
Don't
fast.
just watch it go, you silly bastards.
That's one of the themes of the last game, was that down the stretch of the game, New Zealand really attacked Victor Matfield. As soon as he came on, they knew that's where the ball was going.
Yeah.
And this is one of the
It's a good
things that I
kick.
think Australia are going to be worried about tomorrow, is that they've only got 2 real jumpers. I mean,
How many do New
they
Zealand have?
About 5.
Oh right.
I know what you're saying, but I just think that New Zealand are good enough to be able to still. So okay, New Zealand are going to compete against those 2 jumpers, but I think they're going to be more worried about a
Sorry,
different form of
I got
attack.
cut out then. What was that?
So New Zealand know that Australia only have 2 main jumpers, right?
Yeah.
But I think it doesn't, like, competing in the air against 2 known jumpers is just as hard as if you have 3, because
Oh, it was a knock
only
on.
2 people can lift, and so where the lifters are is where the actual threat's coming from.
But what I mean is that they can, with Australia, you know that they are pretty much going to throw to either Fardy or Simmons, so you know where they're going to likely, you can eliminate one of the options, whether you eliminate the front, whether you eliminate the back or the middle.
Oh,
Oh, wait, you must be ahead of. How are you ahead
I
of me
think
when
you
we're
are,
both
because
watching
that happened a
ITV?
split second after you said it.
Oh,
I think, are you watching on standard definition or high definition?
standard.
Yeah, that's why, because standard
I want
definition is
standard.
always a little bit faster than high.
But wait, no. But I'm behind. He reacted before it happened.
For me, on high definition, it's later.
Oh, maybe.
Mr. Fancy over here with his high def.
We get everything a bit earlier here in Scotland. It's one of the perks.
Oh, you're
Or
in
You
Scotland
don't get
as well. I was
independence,
going to
but
say,
you get a
'cause
faster TV.
I think my
broadcast.
TV was quicker as well,
STV
because I
is
saw
fun.
him through as well.
So
Mine was definitely a little bit after.
on a slightly slower, or a slightly faster delay than ITV.
Yeah. Scotland know what they're doing. He's-
That's stolen.
Sanchez.
I
Penalty.
don't. I get so annoyed at that breakdown. Right, I get that he had his hands on the ball, but I also think a ruck is formed. You have to release the ball. It's absolute bullshit that you can just keep your hands on the ball when you're in a contest over the ball. It
Right,
really
for me-
annoys me.
Pino's looking to run it.
When you've got that situation and you know that the other player's got his hands on the ball, you're the Argentinian receiver and you know that the South African's got his hands on the ball. Let go of it. Release the ball. If you release the ball, right,
That was terrible.
No.
Jesus.
Go on, Sim.
what happened? I didn't see it.
Oh, it's a terrible pass went slightly wayward and it just got punched forward into an Argentine's hands.
So you said earlier, right? How
You know that the other team have got their hands on the ball. As the player with the ball, you just let it go, because if you let it go, he didn't tap that, did he?
I
How is that
didn't
not
see.
a penalty?
He just ran, didn't he?
I thought he just
Oh,
jumped
go on.
forward with it. Jesus, that was a nice nudge.
But yeah, so I mean, what I always used to say is, when you get the ball and you've been tackled and you're going to be turned over, just let go of the ball. Because if you let go of the ball, you can't be penalised for not releasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because half the time they're not actually scooping it. They've just put their hands
Yeah,
on
that's
it and
They're
they're
just
leaning
resting
down
there.
on it. Yeah, yeah.
And if
No,
you
you're
let
right.
go of the ball and you pull your hands out and you can show the ref that you've let go of the ball, then if anything,
Yeah.
they're going to be penalised, right? For
That is a high risk, no reward though.
There is
I
also
think
I think I saw someone posting on the sub the other day about a habit where a lot of people who are in quotes going for the ball,
They put
they're
their
putting
hands
their
past
hands
it.
over the guy's arms and then
yeah, that's
shaking.
it. So he can't let go. Yeah.
That was well
Like-
sacked.
Every trick in the book, you got to
Yeah.
use it.
It's definitely something that
Sim cut
in
out
some
again.
places where you know that the opposition need a penalty to relieve pressure. You're deep down in their 22 and they've got the turnover. Just let it go. They've got to rip the ball out.
Whoa, he's gone.
No.
Great show and goal. That's a good pass.
Habana! No!
Oh, he's done it again!
That
That's
was great
three!
play by Pollard. That is a brilliant
Terrible.
pass.
This is just
I
going to
hadn't
be a
played
game
that sort of
of
pass
Brian
there.
Banner failing to beat the record.
Villy's like, come on, mate, just catch. Come on.
Look at that. It's
That
a
is
beautiful
brilliant,
pass.
Zane.
Lovely
It's
dummy.
golden. Oh,
That is. Oh, come on! You've got to take that.
And he got hit afterwards
It's
as
the
well.
flattened after he's given up on it as well.
Is that Cabelli just put in a little after?
Look, yeah,
You
look,
know now that this isn't going to be his day.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Brian.
Smash him!
The face expression says it all.
He's just
that
not
did.
happy.
Just that's 3 attempts, isn't it, where he's had the perfect opportunity to break.
But you just go back to that and you see Pollard make that half break there. And
That was
you
a
think,
good break.
Why were you playing Schultzberger up in the line all tournament?
Oh, by the
Why
way,
not?
Schoutberger has been hit quite a few times in the tackle.
He has.
Every single
Yeah.
contact, he appears to be going backwards. It's
He's
very
a tough
odd.
man. He's a tough
I think it's fatigue more than anything, cumulative fatigue of being like, first up into the carry with the carry every single time throughout the tournament.
Maybe.
He must have the most carries of the tournament.
How come
Crash
the
balls,
commentary has a green thing around it?
What do you mean? Might mean
It's
that it's
live.
live.
No, the line break, when we posted on Reddit, the link... it
Oh,
has-
yeah, no idea. Normally, I thought that was reserved for match threads. It might be that because it was a link to a comment in the match thread, because the match thread is green, it's made that thread green.
Oh,
Well, it's nice that you've
Potentially.
managed to hijack it.
I know that's again. I know it's more noticeable. It's green, so it's good, right? I mean,
No, it's good for us, but it's still complete bollocks.
We've hacked the
well, I don't know.
I think-
that's a guess at how it works. I don't know.
No,
I
I
think
don't
what
get why
it
he
is-
didn't just.
No,
it should
what
have been
it
a
is
link
when
straight
you-
to YouTube.
When you're somebody who's not posting it, you're not the author. All the author's comments get highlighted in green.
Wait, what?
No, Sim, we're talking about completely different things.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Fair
worry. We're talking about on the sub, the link that Alex put up has
Yeah.
been given a match thread flare.
Oh, okay.
Maybe one of
Some
the
reason.
other admins thinks that
HMFC all the way is the only one that would possibly.
No. It's automatic. It's done into the code of the sub. So if you start the thing with match thread semicolon, no
He's
matter what
in
you
the
have
air.
afterwards.
Habana, you're an idiot.
yeah.
He caught the ball in the air and then landed. That's an Argentinian ball.
No, he was already out when
He
he
was already the ball.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got to touch the. Yeah, he's got to be in when he touches it to go out.
Oh, he jumped from outside. Okay.
Yeah, it was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No, yeah, it's written into the sub's code that if you put up a match thread, it automatically gets that green border.
Written into the subs code. See, that's bullshit. He was doing exactly the same thing, where it's a ruck and he's got his hands in there, but he's been
Don't argue with
penalised.
John, he knows best.
Fucking Lacey doesn't know shit.
No, he's a moron.
He should
Is
have
that
been
Leguizamo?
consistent.
It is Leguizamo. Where did he
Kicking
go
from
from?
the posts again. Oh Jesus.
Oh, jokes on Fred for being at this match.
Yeah, 10 or 13-0 at 31 minutes in a third place playoff. That's just...
It's all about the second half.
Yeah.
Okay, so going
Those
back
are some
to that
pretty
question-
good jumpers, to be fair.
Going back to the question of what Argentina need to do, like going forward, I think a noticeable thing for me watching Argentina is it's not just their scrum half that's got quite a super pass. Like the speed of the ball between them all is quite slow.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I think the other key thing is just the ability to draw the tackle and pass, because a lot of the times they're looking for the contact so they can offload out of it. When really, all they need to do is just fix the defender and then pass it along, and that would have helped them a lot last week, I think.
They did that in the pool stages, though. They did that, like, the 10 was the decoy, and 12 came in and took it.
Yeah, I think just when you've got an overlap, you just need to just move it through the hand sometimes. I think they just need to focus on getting those patterns ingrained, and maybe Super Rugby with that franchise and all the players that got signed up to it, maybe that'll help them do that.
It's,
So that was
It's going to be a
Iliad
great
aside.
season to watch next year.
Who's coaching the Super Rugby team for Argentina? Is it the head coach, or is it...
I don't know. I haven't checked. I'll have a look now.
this might be slightly random and yet ever so slightly connected to what was said before, but the variety has been quite big. But I think it's quite interesting seeing the different, the kind of what's the best way? Just the general wardrobe of the coaching staff, because they're always matched, but it's quite odd how the Samoans are wearing like massive Hawaiian-looking shirts, and
Party time, boys.
Hansen is always wearing a suit, and Checker gets away with wearing a hoodie with a blazer over it.
That's because Checker's a fashion. He has a fashion line, doesn't he? Apparently.
Oh, really?
I'm not buying something fashion-wise
Well, no,
from a rugby
apparently,
coach.
Michael Checker is independently wealthy, and he's done very well from with his fashion business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is why he's
idea.
always got hippie glasses on. And
We should
yeah, so
really
that's
ask
why
Barbs about this.
he really doesn't care if he does get sacked. I think because he doesn't really need the money. Although I think it probably is nice.
He shouldn't be sacked. He's gotten to the World Cup final in his first year.
Just like
and he's
eventually if it ever happens.
Banner's away again. Watch him stuff this one
He's
up.
not going to do it. He's going to fuck it up. He's pushed him again.
Oh
He's done it
my
again.
god!
Why does he always do that?
It's a penalty against him.
always
Oh no!
He's such a niggly player. Oh, come on, Chris Markey.
How did Bismarck get all the way up there?
It's the mighty business
Oh, he's cut out again.
in a third-place playoff match against an outside centre.
I'm calling it right now. Brian Habana does not score a try.
I'm going to second that. He did this in the semi-final the other day. Why would you push the player right in front of you? It's such an obvious penalty. Why would you do that?
Oh, he did a little bit of acting as well.
Acting.
Come on,
A little bit of
can't-
dramatic.
It looks like he's been shot.
Sanchez went down hard.
Dad yelling for a yellow in the other room. Hilarious.
Brilliant, Maya Cam. I can't believe that's the first time.
Sanchez the one who went down after that push as well from Hooper.
The punch. It was a punch. Come on.
Oh, it's open palm. That's not a
Nah,
punch.
that was I think that was a punch. But
It's
yeah,
a
I mean,
friendly slap. It's a little tickle.
so that's the way we don't want to see Argentina to go, to start flopping again. Like, because they did during the championship, they were flopping.
They were, yeah. I can't see that their coach has been announced for the Super Rugby team yet.
They're not right. It's probably the same as the Japanese one, just they've got more players.
Everyone
Yeah, I
seems
think they've
to
almost
agree
got a full
that-
squad for the Argentine team. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Everyone seems
5.
to be agreeing that Habana is a diving bastard.
Well, we knew that for his days at Toulon, didn't we?
Also, there's a little bit of a chat about Sanchez diving as well, because
Why? He looked like he'd been
he
gunshotted.
did.
They've got 29 players signed for the Argentinian Super Rugby team, and I think post World Cup there'll be a few more coming in.
Yeah, this is like the Argentine, like they create, and then they don't offload.
Alex, you are cutting out.
Yeah, your mic
Yeah,
has gone
very
potty.
badly. That was all on Habana. He just tried to go for the intercept.
Tried to get the intercept.
You can tell he's really playing for that record, and they're all playing for it, really, which is. I guess it's a bit.
Yeah,
He wants it way too much. He's trying way too hard. He needs to just let it happen a lot more organically. That's high.
Why would you not want to try?
That's around his face by JP.
It's Lacey.
I really
it all
dislike
goes.
JP Peterson.
Lacey doesn't give a fuck.
JP Peterson is basically he is the defensive winger, isn't
I
he?
think he's my least favourite player ever.
I really dislike Peterson.
He's such a grub. I can still remember he tackled, I think, David Denton into touch one time and then rubbed his face in the dirt for good
That
measure.
was one of those points where I was just like, it's just not on. You define South African rugby for me.
That's
at
why
that
they
point.
nailed them as well.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Oh, he's gone!
Going into the New Zealand game, there was a lot of talk about how
why would you offload there?
Because
Why
he's a
would you not
fucking
hold on to it?
monster and he's playing
Come on.
against.
He's playing third place playoff properly.
Right, there's a time
Keep
to
it in,
offload.
John.
There's a time to hold
Go
on
wide.
to it.
There's so much space out there. Run forward and go wide again.
Peterson's shut it out.
Oh, he's
He's fine, he's rolled him.
well, he's
Oh,
kind of
what a
bollocked it up.
step.
He should have gone left.
Well, yeah,
Should've
we know
gone
that,
left.
but it's
But just
easy.
going back to Peterson, it was funny that there was a lot of talk just before the semi-final about how Sarver and Lomu had never scored a try against South Africa. But it was like, okay, so I wonder how New Zealand ever coped in these games against South Africa over the last 5 years without
Because they're still
Sarver scoring a
world-class
try.
players.
And then it's like, okay, so basically what South Africa did was double mark Sarver out of the game and let Kieran Reid get about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Let Ben Smith score 4 tries on the other wing. Get Eldon Barrett running through the middle at will. It's like just because you to shut down, you should never ever focus on shutting down one player. And that's why I think it's a bit of this about Pocock tomorrow.
Yeah.
If they focus on shutting Pocock down,
Oh, the silly buggers dropped it.
Oh, guys, this is getting really disruptive.
This match is awful.
No,
it is really bad.
Because Sim's trying to talk, and then all of a sudden we're all moaning over him.
Sorry, it's why is that a penalty and not just? I thought that was for a knock. Why is it a penalty?
Was it offside?
To be honest, I think I was only half watching that then.
Was it offside? I think he did that.
Okay, so we're going to see it now, maybe?
No, this isn't the line out.
Oh, okay.
It's just highlighting the line speed, I think.
I want to see a few more chips in behind, just past the defensive line. The fullback's hanging back.
Great take.
And if Argentina can just, put a little chip and Regala on the other side, they'll be away. I'm surprised that teams aren't doing it more against the rush defence.
Good more by South Africa. Managed to hold on to it.
Is it Vermeulen at 8 today?
Yeah, Vermeulen's at 8. He's had a pretty poor tournament.
He's been very quiet. I think he's not fully fit after his injury.
He missed the first few games because
he hasn't been given a chance to
It's penalty
advantage. Jesus Christ.
You always get this about players that are just coming back from injury, and their team will always say, "Oh yeah, he's really worked on his cardio and he's fitter than he's ever been," and then they come back and
they're shit.
Flat, yeah. And
who posted that girlfriend's watching Netflix?
Alex.
Okay, because I have a very similar situation.
Well, in fairness, it'd probably be a good idea at this stage to put Netflix on and turn it off because this is just boring.
It is very, very poor.
I'm gonna actually cut the live stream at half time. And I know
I've got to say, this is putting a stake. I mean, we've had one or two dodgy games in the pools, but I think this is easily putting its hand up as the worst game so far of the Cup by stretch.
Have there been?
They're kicking another penalty.
I can't
think
of anything.
Uruguay's pretty shit.
Yeah, it's pretty boring. I am going to cut the live stream at half time.
I actually feel a bit sorry for Andre Pollard, to be honest.
He's not a bad player. Well, obviously he's not. He's playing for South Africa and he's number 10. He's obviously not a bad player, but...
I would have liked to see, the backline that I would have liked to see today from South Africa is Pat Lambie at 10, Pollard at 12,
Delande at 13.
Naru at 14, have Jesse Field at 15, and then put Havana on the left.
Alex in the background.
Can we?
Can we still hear Alex?
I can hear Alex. I can hear Alex in the background of Alex.
Right, are we cutting off now? We abandon ship?
We can abandon ship. You guys can continue, but I'm going to be abandoning ship. Do you want to continue?
It's just a really bad game, isn't it?
It's a really shit game.
We can't. I feel it's a little bit harsh for us just to bail because it's a shit game.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Can we not just keep? Completely drop the pretense of commentary and just basically turn this into
the final.
A podcast to talk about random rugby shit and
I want to do
discuss
this before,
tomorrow.
Or I want to do this either before.
Yeah,
or
I'm up
after
for that. I'll
the
just be
final.
back in a second. I've got a call coming through on the other line.
All right. I am going to
talk after the game. Let's talk after the game and then do a podcast or something.
Okay.
Do that?
Yeah, we can do that. All right, that makes sense.
I'm gonna cut this off then.
Okay.
All right. Catch you later, guys.
So, okay, I'm on my own now. Broadcasting. I'm meant to cancel this. Pollard is only in because of his boot. Yeah, I think that's an old school method that Heineken Mayer kind of enjoys, though, having a good boot. I'm just broadcasting on my own now. This is quite fun. Screw everyone else. I have control of the website now. So is everyone in the chat? Have you been on the website? I'm going to try and post it now. Just as a little advert. Why not? You can have a look at the analysis that we did about the forgotten men of the World Cup. Right, here we go. Say something terrible about the guys. What can I say about them? So, see, Hugh doesn't even know about the website. Hugh. Goodness. Poor Hugh. There you go. Yours or Reddit? Our website. I mean, we do use Reddit non-stop, but we are creating our own website where everyone contributes. There's about 12, 13 of us, all from Reddit now, so we're all contributing to the website. We're all writing little analyses and things. Gossip time. So Ed or Wallopy Joe, what's the gossip about him? He's a big bearded prop, so his image isn't actually let down by that. I was hoping that he was going to be a skinny little kid who lived in a dark room, but it turns out that he's a big bearded prop, so he's alright. Who else have we got? We got Fred, who claims to be our Frenchman. He's lived in. I mean, he has got a London accent, so that's a confusing one. I don't know. Yeah, no one else is listening now. We've got 4 watching, so you can probably all just disappear and I can hang up. Do 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 do. Right, see you guys.